We're here with Geoff, the manager, and two of the players today after a 1-1 draw against Larkspur Rovers. Geoff, was that a point gained or 2 points dropped?
If you're looking at the majority of the game, including the second half, I would say it's 2 points dropped. I think second half, especially where the game was pretty much in their half, we just couldn't really get the breakthrough. We had a lot of half chances where we should have done better, or our composure sort of let us down, or the final pass, the weighted pass wasn't right, which was slightly disappointing. And like I said, considering the majority of the game was sort of in their half, barring sort of a spell when they got the penalty, and then up to the end of the first half, I thought we were the dominant team. So yeah, it's definitely 2 points to drop because we're at home. You know, I always say we should be winning games at home. You know, and then we do what we can away from home. So obviously the lads are a bit deflated, but look, it's still early in the season. We're still unbeaten. You know, if we can win the next two, it's still a really steady start. And I think we'll build on this. But like I said, it's just that last bit, which is a bit frustrating from everyone, that we couldn't really get it across the line today.
Okay. Jack, bit of a kind of a sojourner actually. You weren't called to action very much, but when you were, it mattered.
No, I mean that's just showing the sort of how sort of dominant we were. Maybe not in terms of shots, but in terms of possession and keeping the ball. I think it's been really, really good. I think ironically, our worst game that we played is against Stonewall, and we won that one 3-0. And then we've come off the back of two really good, football playing performances. Everyone wants the ball to feet on the floor. It must be good to watch, to be honest with you. Much better than last couple of seasons probably. But yeah, it just wasn't our day today. Didn't have that much to do, but we couldn't. Same really for their goalkeeper. I think we didn't test them enough really either. So yeah, a bit annoying, but
Okay. Now, who are we gonna talk to now? All right, Dino. All right, Dino, you bossed it. Second half. Yeah. Rate your performance.
It's up to you guys. I'm just here to play in it.
Come on, you know how well you played.
I'll say I tried my best today.
Yeah, you took charge.
Yeah, the gaffer told me to just take responsibility in the pitch today. So literally, sad what happened to the centre back today. But it is what it is. It's football. We get called on to action. You have to be ready every time. Okay. So today was a good game to show my abilities.
Yeah. In terms of kind of Geoff, Larkspur, where do you think in terms of the kind of the teams, how they'll kind of figure at the end of the season?
I mean, historically they're up there because they're well sort of regimented team, and like you did, they had a sort of a tactic second half and they stuck to it. They sat pretty deep, tried to stop us playing through the lines, and they've got players who do the right things at the right times, more often than not. And when you've got a team of that, you're going to consistently pick up points. And also, they're obviously, for those who have played at their place, it's a difficult place to get points. It's a small pitch, some they're used to playing, so they'll pick up a lot of points at home. So I reckon they'll be in and around sort of like the top four. So you could say it's a good point, maybe come the end of the season, but I still think we had a bit extra where we could have won the game. But definitely they're one of the better teams. So draw is it's no disrespect, and fair play to them. They came with a game plan, and in second half, a lot of periods I was looking at them and I think the draw was really what they were looking for, in terms of where they set up. So they're definitely one of the better teams. But as I've told these guys before, if we play anywhere near what we're capable of, and we beat every team in this league, and that's just not arrogance. That's just really facts.
Okay. Jack, in terms of kind of the pace, particularly in the first half, it was a bit slow going. What was it? I mean, normally we start off kind of pretty kind of quickly and with pressure and there's kind of a to-in and fro-in between the teams, but it seemed to be kind of much of it in the midfield.
Yeah,
and much of it was slow.
I agree. I think it was pretty slow, to be honest. I think that was one of our criticisms at half time, is that we were doing some of the right things, but we just weren't doing them quickly enough, and we were waiting for them to sort of get set before we do it. I think maybe going from stray dog to the 3G to one here doesn't, I mean, to be fair, it's immaculate out there, but it doesn't help in terms of like sort of preparation where you don't really know what you're going to do. Going to be, great shout out to Matchday for being able to host us here. The pitch looks fantastic, but I think it was a little bit slow. I think, to be fair, they were trying to slow the game down every time they got it. I mean, to be fair, so both teams sort of, we weren't really at it, but then they were also looking to slow the game down. So it sort of then that combination sort of led it to be quite slow. But I think, we know now that we have to sort of, especially when we have home games, we have to take it to the other team. We can't sort of look to counter. We should be with the pace and power that we've got and the directness that we can do. We should be controlling that tempo, and it wasn't good enough to do.
Geoff, I mean, there's a lot of new players in the squad this season. Was this also kind of things that we've learnt from this game in the way that kind of Larkspur set up, the way they kind of were able to frustrate us, and the way that in some ways we didn't have the kind of creativity to counter it? What have we taken from the game?
I think we've covered it before in terms of adding that little bit of injection from the start, being a little bit more quicker. I mean, the patterns and play that we're working on, they're all good, but I would say we still didn't do it quickly enough because we created overloads. And then our fullbacks were free, but then it took us 2-3 passes to get to the fullback, and then you've lost the momentum of the move, where really it should be done in one pass. So that's something I think we can work on as another sort of variation of play. Because then we had so much space in the wide areas, but if you think of how many times we got it 1v1, how productive we were, it wasn't really good enough. On another given day, with respect, you have someone like an Arthur who's a bit creative, who can create something out of nothing on the bench, maybe like a Sherwin or a Julian who can create that little bit of a moment of quality to come off the bench. No disrespect obviously to the players in the squad today, but that's what you're dealing with sometimes when you got those sort of options. Sully came on and I thought it was a breath of fresh air, was quick, was trying to do things at a tempo, was causing them problems. So it's just that last bit really, and I think once we get it, once it clicks, I think we'll be flying really. We're flying.
How close are we to clicking?
Very close. Because like I said, you said it in terms of, you said I see it's more of a transitional season. I think often what you find with a lot of teams, they go through sort of 3-year cycles, and I think this is ours. If you compare to the team that we had initially with like Jimmy, Elliot, Steph Nielsen, and we've sort of, a lot of the new players have come in and they've done their worth and they deserve to start. So this is sort of like a new team sort of we're forming. We're trying a new sort of a pattern of play and trying to play a bit more, because I think that's what the players that we have. We're not a team of brutes, 6'5" guys that we're just going to hit percentage balls and and try and bully teams. I think we can play a lot of football, and we've got a lot of technicians in our team, so we have to make sure we're trying to get the best out of them, and that's what we're trying to do as much as we can this season.
Yeah, in terms of kind of personnel, you tried to play the wing backs, right? The fullbacks pushing up.
Yeah.
But the pitch was wider than I think we're normally playing in, and it took 2 or 3 passes to get it out there.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And that's what we tried to say at half time. Can that ball go out quicker? I think Charlie did it a few times. I think Jack did it a few times. Where we've seen it, can we do it a bit more quicker? Because then it's a 2v1 as opposed to 2-3 passes, and then it becomes a 2v2. So you've lost that sort of momentum. So those little things I think we can take from today. Again, Greg had a couple of chances, another day Greg buries, and it's deserved 2-1 victory. So we're disappointed, but as I said, we haven't been beaten, and if we can focus on the next sort of 2-3 games, get a couple wins, it becomes a very good start, a steady start.
Yeah. Dean, do you want to have the final word?
Well, keep believing that the competition in the squad is very fierce this year. So obviously players who step on the pitch have to show the worth. So I reckon we're going to do well together as a team.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll be challenging all 4 for 4 trophies, I believe, this season. Even win the league and probably go to step 6 next year and boss it as well. Yeah. So we're ready.
How does it feel to have your kind of position challenged here?
It feels good, and it brings the best out of me. I feel like if I play every game, I'm going to be lethargic and lazy. Now I'm doing my extra homework, waking up 6 a.m. to go do my jogs, go to the park, go to the gym as well. So obviously, I'm not in the gaffer's ear that much this year. I know what to do to get a team, so I just keep doing my best and hold to my shirt.
Okay, congratulations. We're still unbeaten in the season. And what's going to be the catchphrase? We've lost, we go again. What's going to be the catchphrase?
I think we could definitely. He hasn't copyrighted it, so we can definitely use it. So I don't think, and that'll be Stu Spirit leaving on. So we definitely go again next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.